Welcome to Tradespoon Live TV. My name is Vlad Karpel and I'm the founder of Tradespoon, and today we have a special guest, Joe Cusick. Joe, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, Vlad. Great to be on.
Good, Joe. You will notice we have a new format. I'm here in the live studio and Joe is joining us remotely. So Joe, thank you for your time. And today we're going to turn to our first segment, Wall Street Week Ahead. We know the volatility is low, and right now you got to trade prudently, you got to allocate your positions correctly and making sure you're taking advantage of low volatility environment like buying calls. And I looked at the technology sector, I'm looking at the NASDAQ, and I see that NASDAQ and financial stocks are heading to the upside. Joe, what do you see in terms of Wall Street Week Ahead?
Basically, as you said, upside. Everything, you're seeing all-time highs in the NASDAQ being reached, almost all-time highs. Looking at that psychological 5,100 number that we haven't seen since the tech bubble burst in 2000. So I think right now, Vlad, basically anybody that is short or bearish is fed up and tired right now, and the bulls are staying strong.
Thank you for that insight. And again, I personally like to look at the two Bollinger Band. And two standard deviation means that 96% of the time we should be within the Bollinger Bands. And right now we are hovering, SPY is hovering over that upper band. So any geopolitical event or any binary event, you will have a short-term correction, but as Joe pointed out, the path of least resistance is to the upside. You can visit more information if you come to Tradespoon.com. And now I do like to turn our attention to mechanics of the picks. Recently we started recording every day when we do a trade recommendation. We're actually doing a 15-minute video on the picks. So I encourage you to look at our daily videos with the commentary. Today we're going to talk to Joe and find his perspective on two of the trade recommendations that we've done recently. One was Celgene that we did on Sunday, and one is Apple that we did last week ago. Joe, what do you see in terms of Celgene and Apple going into the next week or two?
You know, Celgene, it looks like there could be, some potential. I mean, the upside is definitely strong. You could see over the next couple of weeks, though, some movement. Right now, they're pricing in the potential to move about into the March weeklies. If you just take a look at those in Celgene, they're pricing the potential to move around $5. That's a pretty decent move in a $120 stock. Yeah, I said $120. Just looking at the action today, it's trading at right around 121.53, which is almost exactly where you were suggesting going in and looking at the stock. Taking a look at the option picks, you're going to see that the 110 calls are going to be trading roughly around $13. Any volatility move, right now the volatility change is right around 20%. Any vol move to the upside will help these long calls, even though if the stock does start to dip down, that'll help hold it up. If you do, in fact, see that the vol does start to move, taking advantage of looking at selling maybe the 120 calls like you did, or initiating the 110, 120 call spread. You put it out there, it's a $10 spread for 705. The risk-reward really works out because really, Vlad, I like the setup in the sense that if we're hitting tops on the general market and we could get some volatility and maybe some drawback, this particular spread, the 110, 120, doesn't feel any pain until the stock's trading at 117 and some change. And so that basically you're looking at about a $4 pullback. So that's a nice little cushion. So again, I would just keep an eye on the action short term, see if vol starts to increase. There are no key stock events as far as earnings or anything of that nature that are going to be on the horizon for March expiration. And there will be something in April. So just keep an eye on that. Other than that, Vlad, I think status quo is stay the course.
Thank you, Joe, for that insight. And again, this is the most popular question is how do you adjust your position and when do you know when to close position? Our take is sell into strength. If you see that stock move 2 to 3% in your favor in a short period of time, week or 2 weeks, and you can make 30-40% on your investment, close that position. Because the probability of closing right now when the stock moves 2 to 3% is 50% higher than stock remaining at that elevated level by the expiration date. So you can find more information at Tradespoon.com. Joe, thank you for that insight. And now I'd like to turn our attention to the last segment where we talk about Tradespoon technology and volatility in the market. From my perspective, Today, VIX probably 52 at 52-week low. I haven't seen VIX that low. That means that people are confident that the market is going to the upside. There is very little fear in the market. So this is when I personally start getting anxious and nervous. This is where I want to diversify and protect my portfolio. You can go to Tradespoon.com, go to seasonal chart, and type in some of the tickers we discussed, like Celgene and Apple, and see where the short-term support and resistance are. And if we reach overhead resistance, you want to diversify and mitigate your risk. Or if you reach the support, this is a time where you can initialize your position. Joe, from your perspective, what do you see volatility in the next week or two, and what is your outlook?
You know what? I think vol right now is probably going to stay in the cheap range. You know, it's pulled back dramatically, as you said. There is still some pricing coming in where there could be some potentially violent moves in the near future. It may not happen this week, but it is pricing in the potential. If you look at the March and April VIX options, they're pricing in anywhere in March about $2, about $2.20 a potential estimated move, and in April they're pricing in about $3.20. So it's some interesting moves being priced out right here on the lows. We actually had the cash VIX, the spot VIX, which we all look at, the VIX, settled today at 1334. As you said, we haven't seen it at these ranges in a while. And I know I pulled up on the screen, or you pulled up on the screen, the VXX on your seasonal charts. Very interesting. Looking for it to challenge that low end of the support, but be aware that this thing could turn on a dime.
Thank you, Joe, for that insight. Thank you, everybody, for participating in our live TV. Again, you can come to Tradespoon.com, find out more information. Follow us on Facebook, Facebook/Tradespoon, or follow us on Twitter, Twitter.com/Facebook. Or you can see Joe's videos and my videos at Tradespoon.com/videos or Tradespoon.com/webinars. So we have a lot of free content, a lot of great information for you to make informative decisions. And I appreciate your time, Joe. Thank you very much for being here and participating in this new setup. And we'll see everybody next week. Thank you.